So a little bit of a recap on this story. I put up a video yesterday about me having to sell my car, my beloved Volkswagen Scirocco. It was a 1989. It was an absolute dog of example of one. It was the car in the Waiting for the World to End music video, and I had it for about a year and a half. Happy days. So the MOT on the car was up on Friday, just gone, and I had an MOT booked for it the Friday before. But a couple of days before the MOT that I was going to have, well, it just started leaking at an alarming rate. Transmission fluid. I had looked at this before and tried fixing it, and it was a minor problem before, but then it just got ridiculous. It really, when it gets up to temperature, it just streams and streams out there, and it was obviously a bit of a problem. I called up the MOT garage. We came to the conclusion it was best cancelling it, and I tried to go and solve this problem and then come back and get it MOT'd. I would have looked at it, but I just annoyingly have absolutely no time this month, which is really sad. So I called up a bunch of garages to see if they could take a look at it and get it fixed. And I explained that it has been looked at before. It's not the gasket for the sump, it's something a bit further up. And yeah, they all just said they were too busy basically, and you know, this month was fully booked. Which left me in a bit of a predicament. You see, the problem is I don't have a garage or a driveway. I need to store it on the road. And if you don't know, in the UK you can't store a sawn vehicle on the road. You need to store it off the road. So I also had a look around locally for somewhere to store it, but I didn't really look that hard. So at that point I came to the conclusion that right now is probably not the time for me to have a vehicle that isn't working, that I can't seem to store anywhere. It's going to turn into a massive faff, and really annoyingly I just haven't got the time right now. So I put an Instagram story post up. About 100 people messaged just asking and saying they were interested. Out of all of those, there was 2 people who are reasonably serious. One of them actually came to see it, nice fella, and he was gonna, you know, get it, sort it out on a driveway and, you know, try and bring it back to its former glory. But sadly, a few days after all of that, you know, they backed out and I was stuck with the car still. So I bought it 1,200 quid running with a year's MOT, and I was literally trying to get like 600 quid for it, but still, I couldn't get rid of it. So a lot of people on the comments in the last video said, oh, I would have done this, oh, I would have done that, it would be a right shame. Yeah, but you don't know the whole story and the situation, and the fact is that, you know, even if I put it out to all these people on an Instagram story, I still was left cold. Even trying to sell this car for 600 quid, I couldn't get rid of it. This left me with no time to put it on an eBay auction, so I just put it on Buy It Now on eBay, which was a bit sad, and I got a load of offers for about 500 to 600 pounds. I messaged every single one of these saying, are you going to be wasting my time? Do you have a trailer? Blah de blah. And every single one of them withdrew. It seems that time wasters are just ripe in vehicle purchasing land. And at the end of it, I ended up going for the lowest offer, which was really sad. It's like they knew that it was gonna happen. A number of other people said, why didn't you just put a cover over the car or something and just leave it on the road? That would have been a good idea if it was in a cul-de-sac or something. I probably would have got away with it, but it just seems that right now, because of lockdown, and it seems that a lot of people cancelled their insurance and stuff, the enforcers are a lot more vigilant on trying to spot people, you know, to try and make a quick buck and get a, you know, give them a fine and stuff. So I've seen a number of notices around my area of, like, you know, ish DVLA, bloody blahs, and it seemed like they were pretty on it because of all of these people cancelling their insurance for a month or two. And I didn't really want to risk it for a fine that might be as much as, you know, twice what I paid for the car. So it really left me in a sticky situation. However, the plot thickens. I found the car on eBay. I was looking through it because I'm trying to find another car right now. I've been bouncing through loads of different types, like 4 Granadas, 4 Cortinas, oh, you name it. I've been umming and ahhing on all of them, but I've basically looked down and I found the Scirocco. There it is, and at the time of posting this video, it's at £170. So basically they've done what I would have done if I had sense and not posted an Instagram story and just straight away popped it on eBay. I wouldn't have been in this problem. So they bought it on a bit of a punt, I think. I think when they got it home, they probably came to the conclusion that doing work on it might not justify the resale price for the car. The thing is even a mint condition manual 1.8 Scirocco, you're probably looking at, you know, tops £3,500 in the UK, and that is for a really nice example. The thing is these cars are really, really undervalued, I think. Like, they're quite nice vehicles, and, you know, even a tip-top condition version, like £3,000, it's absolutely crazy. The thing is, even if you got this car to a tip-top condition, you wouldn't get £3,000 because it's an automatic. And, you know, if you put a manual in it, then it would still be a bit of a, you know, sketchy, modified thingamajiggy. So I reckon they got it back, looked at it, said, this isn't worth the faff. It's in a little bit too bad of a nick to really do much work on it. Even if we fix the gearbox, we probably wouldn't make much on it. The best bet that we have is to literally pop it on eBay. A quick look at the pictures, you can see it. It's the car, it's my car, it looks exactly the same as how I left it. Poor thing. Let's see what they said about it anyway. Volkswagen Scirocco 1.8 GT Auto, GTI, Pirelli P-slot alloy wheels. Ooh. Spares or repairs, 102,000 miles. As of yesterday, there were only 765 left on the British roads. Oh, this is a right emotional tearjerker. Sadly, there are now only 764 as the MOT ran out this morning. Ooh. So from my understanding, they literally got it home and put it straight on eBay. So maybe this was the plan all along. It has only covered 3,500 miles since last MOT. I'm not sure how right that is because at some points the odometer was getting a bit sticky. Looking over it, I can't see any reason why it shouldn't pass another. This is very true. The car is actually solid. It's pretty damn good. The car looks a little rough. There's a couple of dings and dents. The one before the previous owner was a kid. I think their dad bought him for like a project. Really like spray cans. So there's like loads of bodgy spray jobs and like there you can see where it's been masking taped and then sprayed. Oh, it's pretty awful, some of the fixes, but it just adds to the charm. The good bits. It's a VW Scirocco GT! Exclamation mark. Currently rising in value. It is true they are currently rising in value. However, right now, you know, it's crazy that they are worth a lot less than their Golf Mark II counterparts. Comes with 4 almost new tyres. This is true. I did put new tyres on it. One of the alloy wheels actually has a slow puncture. It's not the tyre, it's the wheel. Recent exhaust, yep, that is from the owner before the last owner. 2 keys and fobs, Clifford alarm immobiliser. It's an absolutely awful immobiliser. Pull it out if you buy this. Central lock-in, it was actually pretty cool to have a car from 1989 with central lock-in. Felt like I was living in the future. The bodywork is fairly straight for its age. Yes, it is actually fairly straight for its age. There's 2 dings in like the passenger door and the bonnet is awful, but apart from that, it's all right actually. The bonnet looks like somebody's been having sex on it. I mean, no, I haven't had sex on it. I can't vouch for anybody before me, but yes, the bonnet is rough as heck. When you lift it up, it catches on the back of the car. It looks like somebody stamped on it and run over. Then I have a feeling it was roadside parked and somebody probably ran over it or something. Proving this car was once a pussy magnet and could be, again, with little effort. That's pretty funny. You know, there's a lot of character in this description. The interior is dirty, but should valet to a reasonable standard. Yeah, before I sold it, I didn't vacuum clean it, and the leaking roof kind of made the seats a little bit nasty. All of it looks like it is there except the parcel shelf. That is true, except the speakers aren't there either, and a bunch of the roof lining is gone, I seem to think. Sunroof is taped over, so would suggest seal has failed. This is true. When I bought it, it was actually filled up with like silicone sealant, and that still didn't do the job, and I was just sick of it, and I just wish it didn't have a sunroof, so I just put some gaffer tape on it. Engine starts first time, no issue that we can tell. This is true, the engine's pretty slamming. The carburetor does need a little bit of work. It's a little bit wobbly. It might not pass emissions with the carburetor in its current state. I was sending it into the MOT to get the carburetor looked at as well, but then this problem came along and it just turned it into a bit more of a drama than, you know, it was really worth. Gearbox works but does leak from a seal on the back once at operating temperature. If you have small hands, you may be able to replace the seal without removing the box. If you are planning on driving at home, I would estimate around 1/4 of a litre of automatic transmission fluid at an hour. Well, that's a very optimistic judgment. I would say it's more like a litre every 15 minutes, and I know that, maybe even less, because I filled it up with about 1.5 litres worth of transmission fluid when I realised there was a problem. I drove for about 5 minutes, and yeah, it was pretty much empty again, so I don't think it's a 1/4, it's more like a litre. Judging by the MOT history, we believe the car was stored somewhere for many years until last year. This is sort of true. It was stored outdoors for about 6 years before, in between 2010 and like 2016, I think it was. At this point, it didn't have an MOT. Before that, it was taken care by an old man or something like that. And then, yeah, and then it got sold on to the person that I bought it off, who did a bit of work on it to pass the MOT. I bought it because he bought a Nissan Skyline and his wife said he couldn't have both cars, so he sold the Scirocco. I bought it, and then yeah, I had it for a year and a half. A spare set of door cards included too. This is true, I bought some door cards for it the other week and I never had time to put them on. Please only bid if you intend to buy. This is not a show car and is being sold as spares or repairs. Would be great restored, rat looked, sticker bombed, boom. So if you want a little bit of a dishevelled but reasonably solid Volkswagen Scirocco that's got a couple of mechanical issues, then maybe this car is for you. You have got a rare opportunity at this point because you have somebody telling you basically the problems in an unbiased opinion, because I'm not the one trying to sell it anymore. This person's trying to turn a quick buck on it. So you know all the problems. You know the problems that I've had with it, and you know what you're going to be buying. So when I saw this on eBay this morning, I thought it was just too good to not do a video on. So this might help the person that bought it off me. I mean, they're definitely going to get more money for it than I sold it for. So what can you do? Anyway, like I said, if you want a bunch of samples of a Volvo being smashed and over-revved and stuff, this was before it went to the scrappy last year. Well, I've just put a sample pack of a load of crazy hits and smash and stuff and bangs and wallops over on my Patreon last night. And there's a mega mix for the live streams that is coming up tomorrow, as well as a bunch of vlogs and stuff. So if you want to support this, help us try and find a new car, then maybe think about looking over on the Patreon. Anyway, I've been Look Mum No Computer. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and go and check the eBay listing out. Toodly doo.